Okay, very good. Can people hear me? Is that a yes? Okay, good. So I call to order the September 29th regular meeting of the Minuteman Regional High School School Committee. I'd like a motion to adopt remote participation as listed in the agenda. Pam? Julia, Pam is still muted.
So move.
Do I have a second? Sharon?
Second.
Very good. Thankfully, this is not yet another executive session. I'm very grateful for that, but it is remote. So all our votes are still roll call votes. So in order again by town, beginning with Pam.
Pam Nurse-Acton, yes.
Sarah is not here, so that would be Erica.
Oh, sorry. Erica LZ Bolton, yes.
Steve Ledoux, Concord, yes.
Ford is not here, so Charlene. Yeah, Charlene still needs to be unmuted.
Charlene Brown Lancaster, yes.
Sharon Musto Lexington, yes.
Jeff Stulanedin, yes.
Alice DeLucas, Joe, yes.
Very good, thank you. Unfortunately, I have to read once again a statement regarding executive session minutes. I almost choke when I read the words for this again. Here we go. During an executive session of its meeting on September 12th, 2023, the school committee reviewed the executive session minutes for the following minutes of the committee and voted as follows. To approve and release the executive session minutes of the committee and to approve and release the executive session minutes of April 11th, 2023 and June 13th, 2023 in their entirety. To approve the executive session minutes of July 20th, 2023 and August 10th, 2023, and to continue to withhold those minutes as the purpose for which the executive session was held continue to exist, but to release the portion of those minutes that discuss holding the session remotely at that discussion, as that discussion does not relate to the particular executive session purposes. To approve the executive session minutes of August 15th, 2023 and August 29th, 2023, and to continue to withhold those minutes as the purposes for which the executive session was held continue to exist. Finally, to table a future meeting action of the draft executive session minutes of July 18th, 2023 and August 17th, 2023. I've now fulfilled that exciting duty. So comments from the chair. Now this meeting is primarily to get the ball rolling on both the interim superintendent search and the full superintendent search. It's not really to make comments to the public. We have another meeting on Tuesday, October 3rd, I believe it's at 6:30, in which we will have a statement to read for the public. So mostly I'm going to go to the votes that we need to take, but I do have a few quick comments first. First, this is the school committee's brief thank you to the Minuteman community for your patience during these difficult few months. We know it's been a very long haul before we were able to talk to you, and we thank you for your patience. Second, there have been concerns regarding the impact of settlement costs on Minuteman. These worries are unjustified. The school committee administration are confident that there will be no staffing cuts and no meaningful educational impact due to settlement expenses. Period. Financial details will be made available over the next week or two. Okay, good. And you'll hear more on these items, I believe, on Tuesday, October 3rd. That's another just brief targeted meeting so we can read a few statements and give you a little bit of information. Which brings us to agenda item 5. Discussion and possible vote to post the position of interim superintendent. Julia, would it be possible for me to share my screen?
All set, Jeff.
Okay, so what I have to do, let's see if it works this time. Come on. I don't think it's going to let me do it, Julia. You might have to do this. Let me try again. Okay, it's not allowing me to do it, Julie. Could you share those motions I gave you? Perhaps it would be possible for you to do it. For security reasons that I do not fully understand, Zoom wants us to restart the meeting to allow me to share my screen, and I'm unwilling to do that. If we have to, I'll just read them. Beautiful. Okay, so the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to read each motion. I'm going to ask for somebody to move it, to second it. Then I'm going to make a few comments on it, and then we can deliberate on it, just so that you understand the purpose of each of these motions. So the first motion is as follows. I move that the administration appropriately publish the draft job description as sent to school committee members with the word working removed from general description bullet point number 6. This posting should occur as soon as possible. Can I have somebody move that, please?
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Okay, the school committee members have received the draft job posting document. Eagle Eye Erica found that there was one unnecessary word on it on agenda on bullet point number 6. It is an editing change. The purpose of this is to begin the process of finding an interim superintendent. The interim superintendent will, I believe, go from late October until the end of June. We need to do this posting, and we need to have a 2-week period to accept possible applications for that position. Well, the clock starts ticking on this process as soon as these are posted. Discussion.
Jeff, could you clarify for people? I've heard some questions, people wanting to know why we need to do an interim search because we already have an interim, but if you could clarify that.
We don't have an interim, we have an acting. So acting is no longer appropriate for us. We need to move to an interim superintendency. Now, if you ask me technically exactly what the difference is between those two, I couldn't answer it, but I do know we have to move from acting to interim.
Thank you.
Any other questions of the motion on the table? Alice?
Can you, maybe you covered this, but what is the appropriate publishing of this
The
document?
administration does know that. I don't know if Julie, if you have where it's going to be published.
I do. School Spring and our district website.
Thank you.
It will be published in those 2 places, and it is a public document, so it will be available to the public if they so desire it.
Thank you.
Should probably have we should probably create an item on our website on superintendent searches that can go up there. Any other questions on the motion on the table? Very well, then bring it to the vote. All in favor of the motion, roll call vote, sorry. Starting with Julia, not starting with Pam.
Pam Saxton, yes.
Erica LZ Bolton, yes.
Steve Ledoux Concord, yes.
Charlene Cabral Lancaster, yes.
Sharon Musto Lexington, yes.
Jeff Stulen Needham, yes.
Alice DeLucas Joe, yes.
Okay, now The interim superintendency only takes us to the end of June. And it is time also to start working on a permanent superintendent position. So I'm going to read the first motion for agenda item 6. I'm going to ask her to be moved and seconded, and then I have a number of comments to go with it. So I move that we form a superintendent search committee whose members consist of Pam Norse, chair, Alice DeLuca, and Charlene Cabral. Who would like to move that?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. So just to remind everybody who's listening, the superintendent search committee does not choose the superintendent. There's a lot of work involved in creating a profile, gathering together a team of people, asking for posting to get applications, getting the applications, reviewing the applications. And the ultimate job of the superintendent search committee is to go through this process and to present this full school committee with a series of finalists. Now, there are many different ways that this process can proceed. All of the ways of it proceeding do receive much input and cooperation from the stakeholders of the Minuteman district. So this is just launching the process. And if you look at the next motion, you see that the superintendent search committee works under the purview of the school committee, and we tell it what we want it to do, it does its work, and then it comes back to us. So this is the motion on the table, and discussion, please. Very well, then we bring it to a vote, starting with Pam.
Pam Nurse Acton, yes.
Erica Elsie Bolton, yes.
Steve Ledoux, Concord, yes.
Charlene Cabral Lancaster, yes.
Sharon Musto, Lexington, yes.
Jeff Stulen Needham, yes.
Alice DeLuca, yes.
Great. One more motion for tonight. I move that the superintendent search committee be instructed to develop a procedure, timeline, and preliminary budget for a superintendent search process that targets hiring a new superintendent with a start date of July 1st, 2024. The results of this task should be presented to the full school committee no later than their regular November meeting. In the event that funds are required for expert advice, the committee is allowed to spend up to $2,000 with all disbursements approved by the chair. Could I have that moved, please?
So moved.
So moved. Second.
Okay, so the purpose for this motion, of course, is that there is a variety of different approaches that a search committee can take. They can do it all by themselves. They can find a consultant, and there are many steps that follow that. The purpose of this motion is to give the first task of the superintendent search committee, which is to develop a suggested process which needs to be approved by the full school committee, a budget and a timeline for doing that. Although we have a deadline of the November meeting, my expectation is that they will finish this task and come to the school committee before then. I don't believe that they're going to need any funds in order to do this first part of the job. However, just to prevent them from having to come back from the school committee, if they need a few dollars to consult with legal counsel or any other experts, I'm suggesting adding this $2,000 that they have to work with, in which they need to get approval by the school committee chair. So that's the purpose of this motion. Discussion. Steve.
Yeah, I would assume that the search committee, some of their recommendations could include a makeup of a screening committee.
They should cover all aspects of that, and it will be a screening committee. It's going to be a whole big to-do.
Right.
And I've asked Ford, who did the last one, if he would be a consultant if needed. So he's happy to do so. You can use him as a resource as you will. And of course, you can always call on any other school committee member for advice as required.
Great, thank you.
Any other discussions of the motion on the table? Very well, then bring it to a vote.
Hamner Saxton, yes.
Erica Elsie Bolton, yes.
Steve Ledoux, Concord, yes.
Darlene Cabral Lancaster, yes.
Sharon Musto, Lexington, yes.
Jeff Stuhlen, Needham, yes.
Alice Lubisto, yes.
Very well, that finishes our business for the evening. And I am really happy once again to not be in executive session, to have the public join us. We will be meeting again, as I said, October 3rd for a statement. I hope we'll have that prepared by the from the chair of the school committee. And our regular October 10th meeting is coming up, and that meeting public comments will be accepted. Not for the October 3rd meeting. So on that note, I'd like a motion to adjourn, please.
So
So
moved.
moved.
That one, everybody acts fast. Second,
Seconded.
roll call vote.
Hamner Saxton, yes.
Erica Elsie Bolton, yes.
Steve Ledoux, Concord, yes.
Darlene Cabral Lancaster, yes.
Sharon Musto, Lexington, yes.
Jeff Stuhlen, Needham, yes.
Alice DeLuca, I'm leaving you in suspense. Yes.
Tuesday's meeting will be a short meeting, but after that, folks, it's back to normal. So good night. Thank you very much. And I'll see you all in the near future. Good night.
Good night. Thank you.